Most of the day is obviously about Vion. You see a lot of Vion products around the business today, and obviously we had a presentation earlier around the kind of Vion portfolio. This presentation's a little bit different. It's kind of not brand specific, and it can, we're going to be talking about marketing, but more specifically digital marketing, and the power of social media, where Kane, you're going to do a bit of a piece in the middle, and that's probably going to be kind of the main section of the presentation. And after Kane's done his bit on social media, I'll kind of take over a little bit more generic about digital marketing, how you can use it, and potentially what you should be doing if you've got the capacity to, and kind of as well how us at William Smiths can help you as well from a digital marketing point of view. We're here, as a business, pride ourselves on customer service. We're here to support you with your businesses. So I will touch upon that as well. Just a quick show of hands, businesses wise, which business here is using social media at the minute? Are you all using social media? Nods to heads, yeah. And are you kind of doing it yourselves, or do you have teams are doing it? What's the kind of consensus? Kind of run it yourself?
It's up to self. Until.
Yeah. So it really should be beneficial, this, because Kane is one of you guys, and he's
I'm myself.
Yeah. So it really should be. But introductions wise, yeah, I'm Jack. I work for William Smith Group. I actually work specifically on the architectural brand within William Smith. So that's all things within a building. So you're thinking about your interior films, decorative window films, solar and safety window films, and even the exterior products like facade film, which obviously it's not fine, but that's kind of my premise. Although what we're going to talk about today can go across everything, whether it's vehicle wrapping or architectural. But yeah, I've been with us around 8.5 years now, so it's been great to see how the business and the architectural brand's grown in that time, and how marketing's changed, to be fair, as well, which we'll talk about today. And Kane?
Kane, I own a company called FLOWRAP. We're just, primarily interior film, but we also do a bit of window film as well. More domestic, but we do a lot commercial that we don't advertise as well. So we've built up a good following across TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube as well. And I primarily get all of my links through social media platforms. So if you're not utilising it, hopefully after today, it might can utilise.
Yeah, and I think on top of that, I do ask questions. I want it to be, two-way conversations, because I'm sure you will have questions for Kane. I know he hasn't said it, but he's got, 50 million plus views on all your platforms, on your content. Miles more than that. That's on video. Sorry, I should have said 500 million views. Have you got?
Pretty much. We've done multiple 80 million view videos.
Okay.
I reckon we're touching billion views at some point. So yeah,
it's better than us at it. So it's good. Just to start us off though, before Kane kind of takes over, digital marketing is really important. I kind of touched upon it in the start of the presentation. Kind of even when I started here 8 years ago, digital marketing obviously was a thing then, but it wasn't perhaps a core part of our business strategy from a marketing perspective. We did a lot of PR back then, magazines and stuff, which is, it is still an important part of the marketing mix, but the shift has been incredible over the last 8 years in particular. Leo, you've seen with how we work and how we use digital now. It's totally transformed the way we use workflows and landing pages and all things like that, which I'll touch upon today. It's changed hugely. And if your business isn't online, it's not visible. With 66+% of the planet on social media today, 81% of people's research online before they buy. So digital is so important. So I think it's throughout this presentation you should get something out of it. So I will now pass over to the main event. Just let me know when you want to. Next slide.
No problem at all. We put the slides together recently, so I'm gonna just tell you what we're going through, and then I'll try and open it up to you guys as well, because we're on about how you guys can utilize social media for your business and create more leads. That's the end result, isn't it, at the end of the day? A little bit of a brief, what can social media do for you? Convert strangers into brand fans. So this is something that I've seen. I'm putting my video to get X amount of views. You might get some in your local area, but you also get people around the world as well who see you, which is not great for business, but it is great for growing the brand and the following. Drives traffic to your site or shop. So this is something that I've done recently and should have utilised earlier, so we'll speak about it more, is I wish I'd had my systems put in place before I've done all the social media side of things, because you can get X amount of views and X amount of leads, but you can't facilitate them with the useless. The people don't want to wait. They want a response. Creates consistent visibility in your niche. So amongst the architectural vinyl wrapping, especially kitchens, I'd say FLOWRAP as a brand is quite well known. Me, not personally, I tried to keep myself out of the videos now. When I first started out, I did a lot of speaking videos. I've not spoken to this bigger bunch of people this in a long time, so please do bear with it. But yeah, I think building the trust and the familiarity goes into those speaking videos, especially if you're just starting out on social media. It takes a lot to put a camera in front of your face. And you might think, when I was having a chat with Ricky this morning about, you're putting a camera in front of your face and you watch it back and you watch it back and you watch it back, you hate it every time. But well, that person that you're putting out to doesn't know you from Adam. Like, they don't care as long as you've got a good point to put across. They don't care what you sound like, as long as they're interested in what you say, it doesn't matter. So trying to take that side of things out of it, be confident in yourself and what you're selling, what you're showing, your work, and hopefully that people in your local area, based on you, your voice, your accent, are going to get back in touch with you and look for more business.
Excellent.
I know. Really, Jack, and the look at which platforms you should use. I think these are primarily the ones which I get the majority of my leads from. So Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. And I would say that, I don't know what you guys use here, but I would say these will be the ones. Is that right? Yep. And I would also say YouTube to a point as well. I've started YouTube recently and we've got a good following on YouTube now. And YouTube, obviously, that's the real side of things. So you can implement your Facebook, Instagram, TikTok into the reels. So you can build a subscribe base based on just, implementing what you've already created on those platforms. But YouTube's been good for me because at the beginning of the year, I wanted to push my views and say, I'm going to speak in front of a video again. So I started doing long form content, and that's created commercial work off the back of it as well. Like, I've had quite a tangible, monetary lead off the back of a YouTube video. So put out what you're doing. People want to see the process. I'm a person who'll go online and watch YouTube, but I don't know what you guys do, but I'll watch people do stuff. Like, I'll watch people make stuff on YouTube, or, go outside camping, watch Outdoor Boys all the time. It's like, I'll go camping all the time, but I like watching Outdoor Boys. So there's people who want to see it. It's true, like, that guy gets multiple million views up in Holland. I bet 90% of his platform don't go camping. Yeah, so there'll be loads of people who want to see what you do. There'll be loads of people who are interested in what you do because they don't do it, or they've never seen it before, or they didn't know that it was a solution to their problem. So put yourselves out there.
Next slide.
Facebook. So Facebook is one for me that I wish I had put them systems in place and should, because we have a real big following on Facebook. We have 1.1 million followers on Facebook at the moment, and the amount of views that we get is like substantial. And Facebook used to be a huge one for like buying platforms, as in the same like Facebook Marketplace, like Jabby Kitchen Projects, like this amount of that. But I think now that we've pushed more into the interior film side of things, is that prices also go up. And it's not as much of an instant buy. So I keep all my platforms set. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. We create the content on the next series platform, and then post them to platforms. There's no reason to ignore Facebook because it's a great platform and it's really good for community as well. So I'll see the same people commenting on my posts all the time, but you also get that you've got a good family base as well. A lot of them are happy to share to people in your area. You know, you don't take one person to share it to their friends, and they've got 1,000 friends, that's 100 people out of 1,000 friends, you might see one of them might pass it on. It's just a huge span as well. Like, we can all help each other as well. Like, I'll share, but I'm happy to share programs, posts, or anything. So whatever he does the same for me. Like, we're a network of people who we can make money out of the whole country at the moment. Like, let's utilise each other. There's so many leads that come from Facebook.
Cool.
Instagram. Instagram's another big one, and this is where I get the most of my really good leads from, because I feel like they're not people who just want an instant bar and they don't want everything to achieve. And I don't know the reason yet, but I don't look too far into it, but I do get a lot of good leads from Instagram. And videos I find on Instagram, that's by far the best. I think people scroll through reels much more now than they would do on pictures of the olden days. Doesn't mean that on your stories and stuff you should be ignoring your pictures. I think to have good before and after, during. You see on my stories, I like to put a little bit of a clip during the day, what we're up to in the kitchen. But yeah, definitely on the real side of things on Instagram. And you can also set up some fun, so you've got a lot of business WhatsApp or the sort of kind of lead platform. You can implement that to your Instagram as well, so you can gather people's information much easier. Mm-hmm. TikTok, I think for the young generation, it's huge, isn't it? But yeah, I can't come to young people on 29. What? It's great, isn't it? TikTok, it's absolutely fantastic. You end up scrolling, it's pure brain rap content, but the side of things that we do, especially for my content, that's under a minute or just over a minute, fast paced, lots of sounds, ASMR kind of stuff is really beneficial for kitchens. If you're on the commercial side of things, I'll just like to say as well, I've gone down the architectural route, but I'm sure there's lads in there and ladies in there who do car wrapping, signage, stuff like that.
It's a mix, there's a big mix, yeah. People do all of them, don't they? Yeah.
Such an opportunity within that market for good quality video content, and I just don't think it's utilised at all. Like, the architectural side of things, everyone's jumping on the bandwagon, everyone's doing very similar things now. But like, I just don't see it in like the car wrapping industry. They're like extremely saturated as a market, isn't it? But why would you not, if you're good at your job, why would you not put that out there? Why would you not show the intricate detail, what sections of cars that you're wrapping, or when you put in really nice signage up for a company? Like, do the bits that you're actually doing. Like, you can, every bit of it might not be perfect. Yeah, but that's what post editing's for. Like, not everything that we do in our work is perfect, because it get some video content. Don't just put you before and after it. You put some up on some show, like, show the lads doing it. Last thing on the ladders, so through what's called, there's opportunity for everyone. It's not just mid-tier side things. Yeah,
great.
I think I reckon it's just one of them was wanted to like help someone on, because I reckon it's so cool, isn't it? On vans, like vehicle signage is really cool. Like seeing recesses put in, and like music keyboards, stretchings, and that's. Yeah, I don't know why people wouldn't utilise video for those things. Yeah, it's definitely something that someone would love to see.
Yeah.
So where to start? So I use an exterior app. There's loads of them. I use one called Splice, but there's like CapCut. There's loads of different editing software, and you can use them on your phone. You don't have to go to a lot to use them. I make all of my content on that exterior platform and then download it and then put it onto my phone. So a reason being is because if you were to make it on an app, so if you make it on Instagram, for example, it pulls, like when you download it, it will put an Instagram, the watermark in the corner. Or if you do it on TikTok, or TikTok watermarking on, it just looks messy in my opinion. Like, that's not brandable content. Right? You don't want to be getting about a video that's got TikTok falling about in the corner of it, taking people's eye out. For the time that it takes, make it on an exterior platform and then share it and stuff off. Set clear goals. So, like I said before, I wish I'd put the systems in place. I would like to do one post a week on this day, and the leads that I get actually be able to collect them. I have something to work on for the rest of the week and with contact these people like this. So we start posting 3 times per week, and choosing whatever makes it the most consistent for you. So 3 times a week's a lot. In my opinion, if you're making good quality content, like, it can take me, say, an hour and a half, 2 hours to make a video. So I get 2 hours worth of footage and it comes down, and I'm struggling to get it just over a minute long. Like, it takes a long time. So if that's unachievable for you, maybe once every 2 weeks is better than doing it once every week. But something that you can then get consistent and keep on top of. You can post pictures through the rest of the time that are really easy and really quick to put up. But you've got something that's always there in people's minds, because I see so many people who don't get the result in 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, 10 times, and then they think, oh, I'm not going to do this. And I've got a friend who used to do so for me, and you won't live on with him saying this. He thinks that he's great for him with ideas. I'm going to start up some social media, and he doesn't get the results he wants in a couple of weeks, and then for 6 months he's not posted anything. He wonders why his work's dried up. Well, it's because you're not putting it out there, you're not staying in people's minds. Engage consistently. It's not a one-way channel. So this is true. I try and respond to as many comments as possible, especially within the first day. The first day is a big one. That you can get more comments, more engagement. You're likely to get a third push on that. So try and make some time once you put something up to get back to people, even if it's negative, like what they put into negative to. You don't have to, you have to hold, like, just understand this isn't better, but this is the reason why we've done it. Or, I hate that colour. The customer's really happy with the colour. We do offer this range of colour as well. There's lots of ways. It's hard to be horrible to someone when they're being nice back to you as well. So, yeah, kill them cans. Yeah. Please. What type of content should you use? So, like I was saying before, I think the world has gone more video based. So if editing isn't your thing, for a lot of people it isn't, because it might not be social media a lot. It might not be because I can. But it's quite easy in the day to get a little bit of content, just a little bit of what you're doing. Even a story on your, a quick scan of a room whilst you're wrapping the kitchen. One before, one during, one after. Like, people can see the transformation a lot better than you stood at the back of a room, maybe, and you took a picture on the 0.5 and you can't see any of the details. But show them a little bit, you don't have to speak on it. Well, you've got, you've done a shaker door, or you've done a band recess, and it looks absolutely mint, and graphics look wicked or whatever. Show them it, give them a bit of a close up, show them what you can do. Tips or how-tos. So I think people stay away from this because they think, DIY is going to take on the business, like no one's going to buy it because they're going to do it themselves. But I'm not a believer in that at all. I don't think a DIY customer's ever going to be your customer. Like, I just don't believe it. If they're going to do it themselves, they're going to do it themselves because they believe that they can do it themselves, or they can't. You just don't have the budget for paying you guys to do it. So show them how things are done, because there's loads of people who see them videos and they'll come and say, "Oh, I wish you could do my kitchen. That's great," And it's just good for engagement as well. There's so many people on YouTube, for example, who put how to wrap a kitchen door. One put a video on how to wrap a kitchen door.
Yeah,
no reason not to.
We've got one that's got, again, we did a how to wrap a kitchen door, it's got hundreds of thousands of views, and again, we don't, we need to do a lot more on YouTube. But we even found that with that one video, again, we haven't because we just put that video out there, we haven't got the systems in place to then develop that lead for that particular one. But yeah.
That's right. No, I totally agree. Like, they're not going to be your customer anyway, and the chances are that, if absolute worst case scenario is, they either weren't to be a customer, weren't going to buy it for you, or they weren't going to be your customer, and then you might have persuaded them to be. You might have at least got them interested to have a chat with you about what range of colours do you have, or could you come to the kitchen, what you get them last and would you? You never know, so it's worth doing. Customer stories, it's something that I don't do loads of. I wish I did more often. I do try during the week is to get stories of kitchens, because I'm commercial work, just show people what we're doing on site, keep people, people's minds on your brand, on your business. Once you say you started a kitchen, for example, or you started a vehicle wrap, like, people like to see that your area's clean and tidy, that you work almost the lads are on site. It's not, they're not taking to make the work, keeping it up, but you've left the house and people working in the house nice, neatly, quietly, doing a good job. Products or service demos. So I partner with multiple brands. Is this what we're going down the lines of, products or service demos? Yeah. So I use a company called Pro Tools. So we partner up really well, and I think the tools are great. There's a couple of people who are
just stocked them this week as well. So yeah,
Wizard Pro Tools stuff's good. I know loads of use. I know Broken use Pure uses some stuff as well. Like, why not help each other out? Why not use a product that's really good, that's trying to help out the business, the industry? I'm sure there's loads in the rapid getting about. But I don't know, different people.
Yeah, we've done quite a bit. We've done a bit ourselves with influencers as well. So again, found very much from a brand awareness point of view, we've done it. People who are there looking at the influencers reviews, like, we've done kitchens for Love Island contestants, we've done interior designer ones, we've done footballer kitchens and things like that. And people who are looking at their stuff are never going to buy from us. They, ultimately, hopefully buy from you guys. But again, it's from a brand awareness perspective, partnering up. We found to be very, very beneficial in terms of the kind of exposure you get, the views on the content and things like that as well, and how grow and following as well.
Yeah. I think pushing it out so that people think have a lot of money makes the people at home, the general public like us, think that if they do it, we can do it. If it is an option for us as well. It's kitchen wrapping had the sort of thing, the cheaper way to reach birth, didn't it? So now we've pushed down the interior film routes. I really don't think in any way that it's any worse than having a laminate door at the moment. See what's at film here, don't we? So, if people see these people on TV, you see less celebs who have the kitchen. I think it does well for the industry. We read the ball to them now. They don't give direct. So it's not like direct leads to get off the back of them, but it does well for the industry as well for us as a whole. So it's rising tides to say. Good seeing Coach Moores, Jack, you have to, mate.
I'd just leave that one. Yeah. I think to be honest, it's just mixing up your content. To be honest, you don't want to just feel like you're selling the whole time. It's really good sometimes to get people and faces to mix up your content. You see, videos obviously Kane's touched upon does way better. Even from our side, we see 6 times more engagement on videos than still images, but we do find people and faces does really well as well. So again, it's just
because people used to think that I was the only one doing the work for us. I've tried to include as many of the other lads who are working with us as well. I used to like to film everything, so the camera was always on me, but it wasn't because of a work point of view. It was just I could manage the camera. Yeah, does that make sense? While they were working, but it's really good to say to like that. But you just working from the camera, but to have a different person in front of it it's good for you and good for your brand, because that customer then doesn't expect you're the first who wants to turn up on site every time to do a job. It's, your business is going to turn up on site to do the job. So I think it's a really good plan. Real stories, lives, what's using when. So I don't use loads of lives, but I think if you were a business that was starting out, and I think this is good for everyone, so signage, vehicle wrapping, interior film, like lives will be a really good one, especially if you have a bit of an established social media platform already, because there must be so many people who want to ask you questions, but don't have a way of getting in touch with you. So if you can spend 30 minutes of the day, you're in the office, so you've got a little bit of free time to answer people's questions. I think that live is a really good one for that. You can have a bit of a back and forth chat with people, and it might be a good way for Ricky to get into the bit. Thinking him out on purpose here, he's got 30 people looking. It's no different than having a camera.
I think it's even exhibitions and things like that for lives as well. Yeah,
definitely. And interviews as well. Yeah, like I said, I think it's a really good one. Stories, like I said before, I think we've been through it already. I think it's a really good day-to-day interaction. I think there's no reason to put a story in a day. Gets people in mind, it shows people the business, shows them more of the day-to-day activities rather than the before and after kind of working aspect to it. People like that, so people like I said, I watch people do stuff, so I'm sure everyone else watches people do stuff.
Just add on to that again, I know it's a little bit different how the algorithm people watch the reels, but again, stories at the top, isn't it? And how you can drop down feeds quite quickly if depending on how many people you're following. So again, it's just another touch point, isn't it, as well?
No, that's totally reels. Yeah. And then reels, stuff, but I think reels are, if you got anything to focus on, cameras and video content.
Yeah.
Yes. Turning forwards into customers. So I recently built a website, and not personally, I've purposely built a website for me. It's not fully built, but it has a quality platform on it. I wish I'd done it sooner, because you cannot, it's physically not impossible to manage the amount of links that you get. You turn your social media into what it can be. Like, it's just not. Genuinely, there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of messages a day. Like, it's just silly. So if you have the system put in place first, you don't have to manage that side of things. You can at least gather people's data. So get their name, their address, rough budget range, email address. So then you can follow up on that. And I think a few of us have done it in the past, is that we have budget ranges. We kind of know based on what people are clicking on the budget range, whether that person's going to be within budget to have work done. And I think that could be done for the vehicle reference as well. I don't see why not. But if it was found, for example, this is your budget to a van wrap, maybe you have a range of vinyl that be more specific to having that budget range.
So just so it depending on what the information's filled into this quote, the form or whatever it is, then you can make a decision on what you do with that lead, whether you leave it in pipelines and things like that.
I'm looking with that, but we had the investment to put aside to create a quoting platform so that actually quotes everything for me now, so I don't even have to deal with that side of things. But from the start for years, I was just gathering people's information, and even that's hard work at that point, because you still have to get back to people with price and with quotes. Well, it's a good place to start. At least you're gathering people's information. You can give them a rough estimate based on X, Y, and Z, and then if that's within their budget, then you can go out and survey it, because there's no fight running. But I started out doing it, and running about headless chicken, go in every single person you got in touch with me. And there's so many of them you were never going to be able to facilitate anyway, because you would never be able to within that price range. So you can get some certain things from stars, some pictures, some information that you can give them a rough budget, and then go from that pattern. Showcase real results. So we spoke about this before. This goes back into your reels, goes back into your stories. Well, build credibility to social proof. I think that's a massive thing. The more that you can put online, I just don't believe that it can be negative for you.
No,
for them, that's so many negative comments, but it's on the heart. Just I read through them and just see so many people hate that, and it's like chill, go and stuff.
Yeah. You say that we was always said that this is all brand new, so we just started a new company. I mean, the Sunday but and I read my truck on the Friday. Yeah. Saturday morning when I picked my daughter up, I was like 10 minutes parts on WIs. One of the neighbourhood watch people posted me on the local. I kid you not, posted me on the local Facebook page. And we've got brand with that written down the side of the truck, but she's got parking with that shit. Frost always probably the proper car. I've had 3 jobs from that. One of which did a 10 grand job. And the guy went to me, I can't believe that one moan so much. You're going to sick. I've got to get you to come and give a quote. And yeah, 10 grand job out. So I never believed that till then. I'm like,
I was something that should pull that out. Might never buy from you, but it's you will need to work the way door.
So we have the start our social media plan. We've got a job for it.
It's exactly
cost-effective marketing campaign.
that should be your first spot.
Well, it's probably we can't think that.
So why not? Utilize it. Build trust through consistency. Like I said before, just stick with it. It took me well over a year before we got back the views, the followers and stuff.
I think it was me, to be fair.
It's true though, isn't it? Like, it doesn't come straight away, but I was consistent. I posted 2 times a week every single week for a whole year before we did anything that was worthwhile showing online.
Do you build time aside for that? Like, do you put that in the calendar every week? Because it's, we've probably all been there. It's easier, I know myself, it's saying you're going to do X, Y, and Z, but actually doing it is sometimes a different thing when you're as busy as always.
It can be really hard work, but I'm not just saying it like that. I've got a young daughter now as well, so that's really takes up a lot of my time. And I'm running a business where we work, long hours. So I said to Joe yesterday and said to Rowan this morning, did see what doctor yesterday. The lad that I said today is very slim, and it's not great, is it? But the aim is to build something that you will hopefully benefit from at the end of it. And she only time it more than still 5 years, 6 days a week. I go beyond that. Not blanking it, but you do have to set time aside. In your evenings, some of you will work for people, I assume. But I know Robin works for a company. Do anyone else work for a company? Or do you all work for yourself? No. So that's another thing, isn't it? That if you work for a company, obviously you want to be doing it in work time. If you're working for yourself, you've really got no excuse, because if you want to knock your fat time, that's what I'm saying. I find time for it can be a stupid hook at night making videos. So I'm not busy upstairs.
When you do that through your external platform, you just take, because I'm not follow some yet, I will do. But do you take series of bits throughout the week and put something together? Yeah. Or do you just do individual, so like you say, like filming of a thing or whatever else? And how do you regulate that? How do you decide what you're going to do?
Sorry, can I clarify? You said if I was on one job.
So yeah, do you only post one reel about one job, or do you do it about 2 or 3 jobs you've done?
So I generally try and stick to one job, right? Because it gives you more content. Yeah, but if you spread them out amongst, each one, and you should do a 3 jobs in a week, and you've got 3 videos instead of putting them into one. You've got 1 measure. You may as well keep the bank of content, even if you need to export it if you want to cloud it, an external hard drive. Just keep it there, because they might be quiet weeks. And I've had loads of quiet weeks, and they're really hard work because you're scratching about the video content. So
almost store it up, and then as the then
utilize it. Like every job you're on, try and get a little bit of video. If it's you wrapping a wing on a car, just film it. Like one day you might be back at it. So glad I filmed my wing on that car, and even though it was black or something like that, it's worth doing. Then we'll all do it. Like I go to the kitchen and it's white. I won't even want a video if it's it's a white kitchen and it's going white and no one will watch it. But I'm so glad when I filmed it because it might be that week that gets me by. You know, I can post a bit of content. I'm sure it's the same. There's that mitigate. I'm sure there's certain things you think, I do this every day, do day in, day out. I wish there's no point filming this. No one will want to see it. But people do want to see it. So make sure that you get it.
Scheduling's important. So do you mind sharing which one you use, the platform?
I personally don't because I'm bang on like I would post Saturday pretty much.
So you do it yourself? Okay.
Cool. There is.
Yes.
I've done social media for a company at Fast, and we used Hootsuite in the past. So
yeah, Hootsuite's one we've used. There's we use as a business HubSpot. Very expensive because we've got everything in there. So we've got social media, email, landing pages, the whole works in there, and it's an unbelievable CRM system, but it is very costly. There's other ones I'm aware of and use, Buffer and Blaze, which are a lot more manageable and really, you know, they do what you want them to do. They schedule the posts and they are pretty good. And from a cost perspective, I can't remember the cost, but they're affordable. So if you're not going to be, you might not be regimented like that, I would really recommend scheduling. Our social media manager uses scheduling a lot with HubSpot as well. So try, you know, and then, yeah, if you've planned the week, try not getting a habit of the Monday, trying to think about what you're going to do. You've really got to try and plan as, you know, as well, you'll know better than me, but as well as you can, at least a week in advance, if you can, as well.
Especially for the people who are employed as well. Like if you have the time within a week, obviously you don't want to work on the weekend, so you don't want to be working in your evenings. There might be parts during the day where you have opportunity to schedule work, you know, schedule posts, and even for the, you know, for the people like me, you got small businesses as well. You know, schedule. Jack's right. If you have children, if you are busy, if you've got that 30 minutes of a day, you know, put it onto that platform. Just let it do its thing, you know, post some point.
Is there a specific time that you suggested better to post so that you get more hits or more views?
So you'll start seeing your analytics where if you set up like a business page and your social media page, you can look through the analytics of like when people are most active. I think realistically, if you're going to do a good video or a good post, it's going to do good regardless of when you post it. I really don't go down the route of life. If your video is going to do well, like you'll see you're in like the first amount of people who watch that video, yeah, are going to be the reason why it does well or whether it does do well. Look at like the 3-second views, length of view, like.
I used to agonize on that kind of thing, and I really don't think you should you?
Just post it. Yeah, you were going to post it anyway. So what's the point? Like, what's the point of worrying about it? You can get 10 views on it. Why does it matter as long as one of them's a buying customer? Yeah, it literally doesn't matter. I was going to go down this route as well, like say, just because we've got such a big following, so many people that we can't. So they're all useless, really, aren't they? Like, isn't it? It's great to have a following, so have like a social proof. People go onto our page and think, they'll probably do a good job because they've got this following. Yeah. That's the benefit of it. Like, that's the only benefit, really. The negative of it is that there's so many people that can't service. So make sure that when you're putting your stuff out, you can service the customers that you're going to get off the back of it. If there's one thing that you lead today, that's what's consistency and the ability to service your customer.
Yeah. Just add on that, if you want to be conscious about it, like try and think about your customer, like they might be working, you know, in certain hours, so lunch times, after work might do better.
I do like evenings.
Yes.
That's I think for me, not too late. 6 to 7 p.m. is generally like post on a Saturday.
Yeah, cool. I don't know if they kind of touched upon a lot of it on this slide, but you can have say anything else.
Yeah, reuse your best content. So that used to be a thing that I used to do a lot of. There's no reason, unless you're a monetized platform, to not reuse your content. Like, there's so many videos that I've put up that have done well, and I put up again, and they've done really, really well. Like, you think, oh, it's done this amount of views, so no one's going to see it yet. But that's such a small people. Like, you have to think about the world. Like, we're not thinking about people in this room. You know, it doesn't matter if then people see it again. It's about all them people who didn't see it the first time. So if you've got a great picture and it did really well the first time, you've got loads of engagement and reactions and whatnot. Wait a couple of months and repost it, why not? And you're a bit, you're scraping it around to find some content. Use something that's done well for you in the past. There's so many people who wouldn't have seen it the first time who are going to see it the second time. Yeah. But there's some kitchens that I've like cut apart and made so many videos out of the back of, and there's so many customers who will get off that same kitchen. When you go for our page, I can see it.
So that comes to the end of Kane's part. Has anyone got any questions at this point? I've got one I might ask you, but has anyone else got anything?
What do you do? You're editing in. But I use an app called Splice for my phone content. So anything that's like a portrait style. And I've been using Adobe Premiere Pro for my YouTube stuff. Next, that's quite advanced to the Premiere Pro stuff. Yeah, onto the scale. So it's just about people to kind of pick up easily. Yeah, so Splice is really easy. Like, it's very similar to like CapCut. So like the app specific, so I do it on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, they have like an inbuilt editing app. It's really easy. Just basically click where you need to split the video up. So you put 2 splits of the video. So you get a big long time after the video, you split it here, you can split it here and delete this middle bit. And then 2 bits will go together. If that makes sense. Yeah. So you can get rid of a lot. Or you can see your individual section. You just have to split it up into.
So if you don't have text, so it can be a bit daunting.
It can make it. Like, I consider myself relatively tech savvy, and I've been using Adobe Premiere for no, but like I've used it for 2 videos, and it's such a learning curve. It takes me so long. So it's, it will get quicker as well. First couple of times you do something that take you so long, and think this just isn't worth it. The second time you do it, doing it a lot quicker, you not to learn first stuff, and then you start to cut things really quick. I mean, they do like tapping real fast and stuff, and it's just worth welcome. Just accept that.
Do you think, a question? Do you think that the quality of your editing is really significant, or is it more about surely more about the content than it is the quality of the the biggest viral videos online ever are all people off the mobile phone putting the kids buying someone else's finger.
Yeah. So, no, I totally agree. But I think Child Bit My Finger was at a point where it was early 2000s, wasn't it? And it was just up to the point of making videos. I think there wasn't a platform where you scrolled through videos at that point. I think YouTube was in its very early days where you had to still type stuff out to get a result. I don't know what everyone else does when they're at home and they're scrolling on the phones, but I'd look at a video and I'll scroll. So I know my mum and dad do, and they're well with my 50s now, so there's people in here who, didn't use the phone when they were young, but they're still scrolling nowadays. Come back to your point, I do think editing makes the difference on regards to push like views, because I think if you're wanting more views, I think editing is the big thing. If you're wanting to show customers, your customer base, your loyal customer base who come to your profile, I don't think editing's much of an issue. I would really like to leave it behind a little bit and think more about what can I show my customer base about what we do as a job, how we do our work. When you go on site, like for example, show the site, this is what I'm going to be doing today. We're going to be wrapping this band. This is what we're going to be wrapping there. The reason that we're wrapping this band in this material is because of this, or this customer's chosen this because they want to do this with their brand image. People want to see it, and people think, well, no, I'm on 5 of that. He knows what he's doing. He's done a really good job of that. They'll at least make a message, I'm sure, though. So,
one last question. Any other equipment people should be aware of to have? I know we've talked about CapCut, mobile phone. Is that all you need, or what?
Mobile, and I have an iPhone, but I didn't buy the newest one for the past 2 years. I've still got 14 Pro Max, and it's been best investment I've ever bought. It was a good quality. But that be an iPhone, sorry, but like a Samsung or whatnot. Yeah, just get a quality phone. And I've still, up to last week, I've still had the same National Geographic tripod from Argos. It cost me 40 quid. And it snapped last week. I was absolutely good. Absolutely good. That had been in and out of that countless times. And it's basically so much from me. So tripods and a way to build it. Start from there.
Did you have any lights in portable light?
Yeah, so I did go down the route of getting some lighting, because lighting is a huge thing, especially people's homes. I know that in units in your wrapping, I assume you have decent lights. Yeah, no, like some people say yeah, some people say no. But you should have some decent lighting, I think, to do your job. Yeah, I'd say lighting's another afterthought. I think if you're going to people's houses, for example, kitchen wrapping, or you're on commercial sites, you're doing fire doors, and you know, pitch black all the time. Yeah, get some lighting. So they're real clear. You can get really small lights nowadays as well. Once it's on, you don't have to. I'm a big camera license, getting the lens in, but
yeah, cool. Any other questions?
No.
Cool. Right, that's been really insightful. Thank you. I appreciate it's been that insightful. Got to lunchtime, so I'm going to end on this slide. Social media, I think, is the number one thing for you guys to be doing. It's from a cost-effective point of view to generate leads. I really do, and that's why I want Kane to really lead this one. But just a couple other things just to touch on before we wrap up, and I will fly through them. Is other things I think you should be considering doing in terms of your digital marketing strategy. And if anyone's got any questions, just let me know. The first things first is the website. Again, I think I touched upon in the first slide, 81% of people get there. Well, they make the decisions online, so it's integral that you have a website. If you want credibility and visibility, you need a website ultimately. And in terms of how we can help you at William Smith's with your websites. We've got the experience and the knowledge in the industry. We've done our own kind of keyword research. We've got all the imagery you can use. So if anyone's thinking of building a website or refreshing the website, you're more than welcome to come to us. They're so important, especially from an SEO point of view. Oh no.
what
We can help you in that way. Again, if you get your website right, I always call it like it's a 24/7 marketing. It's working all the time. You're generating leads all the time. So your website, I really do think is fundamental. And you can tailor it with how you want your business to look. So, if you're just want to be targeting kitchen wrapping, you can make that kind of fundamental, have all the keywords, and you can rise to the top of the rankings if you do it effectively. So website number one. Case studies, again, I think are crucial. I think it gives you, we're talking about credibility, it proves you can say what you do if you've got case studies. So having them written up on your website, again, helps from an SEO point of view as well. And in terms of how we can help you in that way, Ryan at the back is our content creator, aren't you, Ryan? So if anyone has any case studies, we can write them up for you, put them on our website. You can put them on yours. We can share them on our social platforms. We can even put them into kind of PR as well to help promote you and your business as well as the concept. So we can help you in that way. Blogs, again, Ryan, do you have anything else to add on that? It's really important from an SEO point of view, isn't it? I think in all of this, again, I am trying to whiz through this a little bit, but your website, you really need to be thinking about your customer. So thinking about what they would search when you're writing blogs and having keywords in there they are searching. So you come up higher on the, the rankings and things like that. Ryan, spouting about there on that, aren't I? Yeah, and digital brochures as well. I think they're really important. That you can share PDFs and physical brochures with your customers quickly. In terms of how we can help as well, we have our own brochures created, unbranded and branded, and we Leo. So they can just drop their logos on there, and then brochures become yours without you having to do anything. So again, I think that's another key thing to do from a digital perspective. I'd say these four are really integral. I was going to go into more detail about landing pages and forms and workflow emails and all that kind of stuff. But that gets quite really, complex. And, we have, our marketing team's 10 people here at Williamsons, or 9. So we have the ability to do all of this. But I appreciate some of your businesses are smaller and you might not have the capacity. But if anyone wants to talk to me today about kind of, sophisticated digital marketing campaigns, I'm more than happy to chat to anyone today about it. But I think what Kane's gone through is so important, and I hope you've got something out of today. Cool.
I appreciate that.
Thanks.
Yeah.